Hi, I'm Ben Cummings, creator and founder of blogwithben.com, and in this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to get started with email marketing. Specifically, I'm going to show you how to set up and build your email list with AWeber. Now in this video, I'm going to walk you through step by step how to get started with AWeber's 30-day free trial. I'm also going to show you how to set up your email list so that you can start to collect email addresses and grow your email list. I'm also going to show you how to set up your email campaigns. So specifically, we're going to be using AWeber's new campaign builder so that you can create an effective email marketing journey that will drive your subscribers to become paying customers. And then I'm also going to show you how to create an opt-in form and add it to your blog so that you can actually collect email addresses and begin to build your email list. So with that being said, let's take a closer look at what we're going to be making in this video. So I've jam-packed this video with a ton of value. It's basically 3 tutorials in one, but here's what you're going to learn in this video. First, you're going to learn how to set up and create an email list with AWeber. You'll learn the ins and outs of using the platform so that you're not wasting time trying to figure out the inner workings of how to set everything up. After this video is over, you'll be able to focus on what matters, creating content, and growing your email list. Next, you're going to learn how to set up an autoresponder welcome email and create a weekly newsletter. This is huge because the email strategy you're going to learn in this video will ensure that you're starting off on the right foot with your audience while building trust and keeping the line of communication open with them as well. And then finally, you're going to learn how to create, design, and install an opt-in form to your blog. This is a key component to building your email list, and it's all conveniently handled under the AWeber platform. That way you're not having to connect other plugins or even pay for other services in order to have an opt-in form on your blog. What you're going to learn in this video is super simple to set up and can help you start growing your email list as soon as possible. Also, this tutorial will be taking you through my affiliate link. And all that means is that if you decide to make a purchase, I'll earn a small commission. But by doing so, you're helping me keep my blog up and running, and you're helping me provide for my family. So for that, I truly thank you. I should also mention that my affiliate link will give you access to AWeber's 30-day free trial. So you can test out all the premium features of AWeber for 30 days before buying. And rest assured that it's risk-free and 100% free for 30 days. Finally, AWeber is run by real people with a passion for email marketing who have continuously found ways to help me grow my business. They've also been recognized as one of the best places to work in Pennsylvania for 5 years in a row by a number of organizations, so just know that you'll have a great team behind you helping you with your email marketing strategy. And on a personal note, I've been using AWeber for quite a while now, and their email marketing team has helped me grow my audience and open up a line of communication with the people I'm trying to serve. AWeber has given me the tools to establish trust with my audience while also helping me generate a passive income online. And it all started because I created an email list with AWeber. So with that being said, let's set up and build your email list with AWeber. Alright, so to get started with AWeber's free trial, you have a couple options. You can click on the affiliate link below this video in the show notes titled AWeber Free Trial. And if you're unfamiliar with where the show notes are, click the Show More link below this video and this will open up the show notes. Then simply scroll down and find the heading AWeber Free Trial and click that affiliate link. Or you can go to the Blog with Ben resources page and access it there. Simply scroll down to the email marketing section and click on the Try AWeber button. This is my affiliate link as well, just a heads up, but either way, both links will take you to the free trial sign up page that we're looking at right now. So it's pretty straightforward. This is where you'll create your login and enter your billing information. Now, you may be asking yourself, why do I have to give my billing information if it's a free trial? Well, AWeber requires it so that you don't experience any interruption in your service if you decide to continue your subscription. And remember, you'll only be charged after the 30 days is up. But if you decide it's not for you, you can easily contact the AWeber support team to cancel your subscription by phone or through their live 24/7 chat. But please know that you'll need to cancel before the 30 days is up to not be charged. Just make sure that you reach out and they'll be happy to help. All right, moving on. Next is their pricing. AWeber pre-selects the quarterly $49 payment plan, and this will still give you 30 days free, but you still have to pay up front for the remaining months with this plan. So if you truly don't want to pay anything up front, then I suggest selecting the monthly billing option. That way you can start 100% free for 30 days before you decide whether or not it's for you. Once you've filled out the form and selected your plan, click the Start My Free Trial button. And after you submit your information, you should receive an email with your login credentials and password. Then to access your AWeber account, go to aweber.com and log in. Then after you log in, you'll be taken to your dashboard, which is what you're looking at right now. This is home base for your email marketing strategy, and it's where you can create your email list, automate your campaigns, create an opt-in form, and so much more. Now, your screen will look different than mine, but that's because you don't have a list yet. So let's change that. The first thing we're going to do is create an email list. This will be where you'll store the emails of people who subscribe, and it's the first step in building your list. So to get started, click Manage Lists at the top of the AWeber control panel. And once you begin creating lists, this is where you can easily access them if you need to edit or configure the settings. But you can also create new lists here as well. So to create your email list, click the Create a List button at the top of the screen. And then you'll be taken to the Set Up Your List page. And the first thing you'll be asked to do is enter your company's name and website. Now, if you don't have a company, simply enter the name of your blog and your blog's URL. After that, you'll be asked to enter your contact address. Please note that this address will be viewable on every single email you send due to the requirements set forth by the CAN-SPAM Act. Now, I personally don't use my home address. Instead, I use a P.O. box that I purchased from UPS. Next, you'll be asked to enter your sender name and sender email address. And this is the name and email address that subscribers will see when they receive your messages. So be sure to keep it professional and on brand with your blog. And once you're done filling that out, go ahead and click the Next Step button. And then you'll be taken to the Describe Your List page. Here you'll enter your list name. And please note that your list name can be up to 32 characters long and is not something that your subscribers will see. Basically, the list name lets you identify which list you're working on from within your account. So for this example, I'm going to be creating an SEO tips newsletter. So I'm going to title this list SEO Tips. There we go. Then below the list name section, you'll see an area to enter your list description. And this is where you'll describe what your list is for. Please note that there's a 400 character limit for the list description. Also, subscribers will see the description on the unsubscribe page if they ever go to unsubscribe from your list. And then once you're done entering your list description, go ahead and click the Next Step button. On the next page is where you'll set up the confirmation message. And this is an email that's sent to your subscribers when they're added to your list. It also gains their permission and shows that they want to receive emails from you. So first, specify what language you want to use for the confirmation message. By default, it's set to English. Next, you'll need to set up the subject line for the confirmation message. If you choose to use one of AWeber's approved subject lines, you'll be given a drop-down menu with pre-approved options. Now, if you don't want to use one of AWeber's pre-approved subject lines, you can type in your own subject line. Just click on the Request a Custom Subject Line link, and then please allow up to 1 business day for your subject line to be approved. After you've selected your subject line, you can edit the actual confirmation message by clicking on the Edit Message Content button. Here you'll have the ability to edit the header and signature, and I recommend you make the message personal, but keep it short and sweet. Now, if you're wondering what the list name and company name in those brackets are, they're basically personalization tags that AWeber uses to pull information and display text. For example, list name will display whatever you name the list, and company name will display whatever you called your company a few steps ago in the list setup process. Pretty straightforward, but it allows you to not have to continuously update your confirmation email if you decide to change the name of your list or company associated with the list. But again, you can easily delete all the text here and write whatever you want as well. All right, so after you've filled everything out, click the Approve Message and Create List button at the bottom of the page. And boom, you now have your first list ready for subscribers, which you can see up there. Now, your screen and subscriber stats will look somewhat different than mine if you're just starting out, but don't worry, that's going to change after you start getting subscribers. All right, next, let's create your welcome email. All right, now that you have your list, it's time to create a welcome email. Now, the welcome email is a great opportunity to not only introduce yourself, but it can be used to help set the expectations for your new subscribers. Now, before we get into what the welcome email content should contain, let's dive into how to set it up in AWeber as an autoresponder. This ensures that every time someone subscribes to your list, they'll automatically receive your welcome email, hence the name Autoresponder. So we're going to be using a new AWeber feature called Campaigns, and I love this because it gives you a ton of really cool options whenever it comes to how you structure your autoresponder emails. So to get started, at the top of the AWeber control panel, hover your mouse over Messages and click on Campaigns. Next, to create your first campaign, click either one of the green Create a Campaign buttons, and then you'll want to give your new campaign a name. And we're going to call this SEO Tips Welcome Email. Then click Create. All right, next, you'll want to determine the trigger that will start the autoresponder process. And since we're sending a welcome email to new subscribers, select the OnSubscribe trigger. This ensures that the welcome email will be sent as soon as someone subscribes to your list. Next is the Campaign Builder page, and this is where you have a ton of control over your campaigns and autoresponder email sequences and how they're set up and how they're deployed. One of the reasons I love this new campaign feature is that it is extremely easy to use due to the drag and drop features, and it's visual. I'm a visual learner, and having my email campaigns visually mapped out helps me set things up and better serve my audience. Let me show you what I mean. So on the left-hand side of the screen, we have our campaign actions. You can send a message, determine the amount of time between messages with the wait action, and then there's the apply tag feature, which gives you the ability to add tags to the campaign for future list segmentation. Then in the middle of the screen is the campaign canvas, and this is where you'll drag and drop the actions and visually build out your campaign. Then to the right are where the action settings will show up as we begin to build our campaign. All right, now that you know your way around, let's build out your welcome email campaign. So first things first, in the action menu on the left-hand side of the screen, drag Send a Message to the campaign canvas and drop it into place. Then once you do that, you'll see additional settings on the right-hand side of the screen. Since we're starting from scratch, we're going to create our welcome email within the campaign manager. So click the green Create a Message button on the settings and select how you want to build the email from the drop-down menu. For this tutorial, we're going to use the drag and drop email builder. So select that option from the drop-down. And in a few seconds, this will bring you to the email builder. Now, the first thing I always do is I insert my subject line. Now I could create a whole video on how to create an attention-grabbing subject line, but since this is your welcome email, I recommend just being direct and saying welcome to the newsletter. So in the upper left-hand side of the screen is where you'll enter your welcome email subject line. Now, if you plan on capturing people's first names, then you can personalize your subject line with the personalized dropdown. And if you click on that here, and then click on subscribers info and select first name from that list, it will insert the first name tag and will display an individual's name wherever you place the tag in the subject line. You can also add emojis to your subject line if you'd like to here. I've seen these more and more in email campaigns, but again, I'm just going to leave mine as is. And now that we have our subject line, the next thing you'll want to do is create your message pre-header. And if we take a look at my email inbox, the message pre-header is what will be displayed after the subject line. This is yet another opportunity for you to customize your welcome email and entice the reader to click through. Okay, so back at the email builder, on the right-hand side of the screen is the message pre-header box, and this is where you can draft a unique and enticing preview of your welcome email. By default, if you leave this blank, AWeber will use the first few sentences from your email. So I recommend getting in the habit of adding a unique and attention-grabbing pre-header. All right, now it's time to create your welcome email. This is where you'll start adding content and writing out what you'll want to say to your readers. Now again, by default, the drag and drop builder will start you off with the plain left align template. It's pretty basic, so let me show you some of the other pre-made templates that are available to help spice up your emails. So to get started, click the blue templates button on the right-hand side of the screen, and you'll be presented with AWeber's pre-made templates that you can use for your emails. And they have a ton to choose from, and they've even created some templates based off of the type of campaign you're running. For example, they have newsletter templates, email course templates, event templates, and so on. Now, before you select the template, I highly recommend that you uncheck the box marked Keep My Message Content. This will ensure that the default content that you see on the left doesn't transfer over to the template that you choose to use. All right, so if you scroll down, as you can see, you have a ton of options whenever it comes to the types of templates that you can use for your welcome email. Feel free to browse the listing and pick something that works best for you and your audience, but since we're creating our welcome email, I'm just going to keep it simple and select the letter template. So go ahead and click on that. And after you do that, you can see that the template will show up and will be ready to be edited. So go ahead and click the apply button to push that through to the builder. There we go. Now it's time to create your welcome message. But before we start writing, let me show you some cool features of the builder. So on the left, you'll see various elements that you can drag and drop within the template. You can add images, paragraphs, videos, etc. This really gives you the ability to make each email unique and stand out with various elements that you can add to the content. Next, if you hover your mouse over the different sections of the template, you can see how AWeber breaks them up and how you can edit each section, or rows as they call them. It's a pretty straightforward process and is somewhat similar to the new WordPress editor in the sense that each row is like a different block of content. Alright, so now that you know your way around the builder, let's build your welcome email. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a logo above the email. Now this is totally up to you, but I like having my brand attached to my emails to help raise brand awareness and brand loyalty. So I'm going to add a logo, but you can easily delete this entire section by clicking the delete tab within the row. Alright, so to add a logo, click the row to edit it, and then on the right hand side of the screen you'll be presented with some image options. You can upload an image or go to the AWeber image gallery, which has a bunch of free stock photos that you can use. But since this is our first logo, I'm assuming it won't be in the AWeber image gallery, so you'll need to upload it here. So click the upload image button, and once you find the image to use, you'll upload it and add it to the email. Now that looks okay, but you know what, I think I just want to use my logo, so let's actually replace this image. And this is good practice. Show you how to switch things out. Now whenever you upload images to AWeber, they're added to the image gallery under the My Images section. Now I've previously added my full logo, so it will be located in the image gallery. Let me show you what I mean. So I'm going to replace this image. So I'm going to click the replace image button, and that removes it. And then I'll click the image gallery button since I previously uploaded the blog with bin image, and make sure you're under the My Images section, and you'll see all the images that you've uploaded to AWeber. And I'm just going to select my full logo. There we go. Looks great. I like that a lot better. All right, moving on. Next is the blank row below the logo, and in this template you can't remove it, but you can make it disappear by making the background white. So this is a little workaround. Simply click on the row to begin editing it, and that will bring up the row settings on the right hand side of the screen. Then click the background color box here, And you can choose any color you want. I'm choosing white. So I'm going to click on the color white. And once it's chosen, you'll see the hex color code above. And then if you click the apply button, looks good so far. Now don't worry, there won't be that much white space whenever you send out the email, and I'll show you what I mean in a few minutes. All right, now it's time to create your welcome email. And AWeber has filled the content area with some demo text, but if you click your mouse within the content, you'll see that the editor is pretty much like your WYSIWYG editor for WordPress, or if you were to write an email or a blog post. So now, you'll probably also notice that AWeber automatically personalizes your email content with the first name tag. This little piece of shortcode will pull from your form submissions and add the first name of the subscriber to the email. But if you're not collecting first names, simply remove the tag and add a friendly intro. Okay, so the rest of the editor is pretty straightforward. You can add text, you can bold text, italicize text, add a hyperlink, delete text, and so on, all with the content editor in the toolbar. It's pretty versatile, and I recommend testing new things out whenever you have some extra time. But as you begin to craft your welcome message, this is a great time to thank your readers for subscribing and set the expectation for what to expect from you. Here are some quick tips on what to include in your welcome email. So thank your subscribers for signing up, set the expectation for what to expect, give access to your lead magnet, that's the reason that they signed up in the first place, tell them to whitelist your email address, that prevents it from going to spam, and direct them to your resources page, sales funnel, or affiliate offer if you have one in place. And again, I'm just running through some examples of what you can do with the text. I just added a hyperlink there. Added some bold font and some italicized font, looks good. So after you've written the email, this template gives you the ability to edit your signature. And that's the block right below. Now, you don't have to do this, but it's a cool feature that can add a human element to your welcome email. So to edit it, click on the signature row, and it has a place for your name and title. So you can go ahead and fill that out. So I'm just going to type in my name and just add a title here. And then, you know what? I want to add a friendly sign-off after that main section of content in the email. So I'm going to go back to the above editor, just click on it. And then I'm just going to add thanks again. There we go. Not a huge deal, but I think that's a lot more friendly than just having my name and title at the end of the email. Okay, so back at the signature, you can also add an image. So click on the image placeholder, and it's the same as whenever we added the logo. So click on the image gallery. I already uploaded this image, but again, you'd probably need to upload a new image. And there's a little headshot that I'm going to use. And then this is cool. If you drag and drop that little arrow icon, you can change the size of the image within the template. Super cool. Love it. All right, then at the very bottom, this template also has a section for, looks like PS. We're not going to use that, so I'm just going to delete this entire row. Let me show you how you can do that. Just click the delete tab on that row, and it completely removes that section of content. Awesome. All right, then at the very bottom of the template, it also has a section for your social media platforms. Now, by default, AWeber has included some of the most popular social networks, but if you only have a few, you can easily delete them the same way we deleted the rows. So I'm going to remove the Pinterest icon just for the sake of this example by clicking on the icon, hover your mouse over it, and then click on that trash icon. And that will automatically remove it. There we go. But then there's a large block of blank space. All you have to do is drag and drop the icon to the right. Drag and drop those arrows. There you go. Then to even it out, you can see there's a little extra space. Click the space directly to the right of that icon. That's going to open up the settings, and click the delete column button. And that deletes it and spreads it out so that it looks even at the bottom of the email. Perfect. All right, next you'll want to add the links to your social networks to their corresponding icon. So simply click on the icon you want to edit and then add the link in the image link field. So we're just going to add Facebook for now. There we go. And after you've added that link, you should get a green check mark after it's verified, letting you know that the link is good to go. Perfect. Now, you'll want to do that for each icon, but for the sake of time, we're just going to move on. All right, so after you've created your template, you have the option of adding it to your template library. This is so that you don't have to rebuild it every time if you think you're going to use this style of template again for future emails. So to add it to your template library, click on the Save as Template button. Finally, I always recommend that you preview your message before sending it out. In the builder, it looks pretty good, but we'll want to see what it looks like in a real email. So to do that, click the Preview and Test button in the upper right-hand side of the screen, and this will let you send it to your own inbox to make sure everything looks and behaves correctly. And again, it looks pretty good in the AWeber preview, but let's see what it looks like in Gmail. So I'm going to send a test version to myself. Just enter the email address that you want to send the preview to here, and then click the Send Test Message button. And you'll get a notification that the test message has been sent. Then in a few seconds, the test email should be in your inbox. And it looks great in Gmail. Super clean, not too many distractions. I like it. All right, so once you've tested and reviewed your welcome email, click the Save and Exit button. And this will return you to the campaign builder. Now, if you want to add more emails to the welcome email campaign, be sure to drag and drop the wait action below the welcome email. And this is telling the campaign to wait before sending the next message. And after you drag the wait action item, you can edit how long you want to wait in the settings on the right-hand side of the screen. By default, it's set to 1 day, but you can easily change that in those settings. Then if you want to add an additional autoresponder email, just go ahead and drag another send a message action item, and this will add an additional email that will be sent after the welcome email. Again, this is why I love AWeber's new campaign builder. The drag and drop features are super simple to use, and the visual representation of the campaign is extremely helpful by displaying the exact steps of your campaign. All right, so you can also add additional automation tags to each message. And this is a bit more advanced, but a great tool as you begin to segment your list. So you'd simply drag the tag element that like we just did, and then give it a name. I'm going to add the tag SEO to this campaign, and doing so will tag the subscribers in this list after the initial welcome email. And adding the tag gives you the ability to segment your list and keep track of people who are interested in SEO related topics. Again, this is a little more advanced, but it's really helpful when you have multiple lists for different interests and campaigns. By adding tags, you'll be able to quickly identify the people in your list who are interested in specific topics or made specific actions. It's really up to you what types of tags you add, but all in all, it helps you create emails about specific niches, subjects, or interests based off of that tag. So I'm not going to get too complicated with this campaign since it's just my welcome email. So for this example, I'm going to remove the additional action items. And to remove them, I'm just going to click the remove link on the items that I want to remove. There we go. Then after you've created your welcome message and built the campaign, click the Save and Exit button at the bottom of the screen. And then in a few seconds, you'll see your campaign in the campaign list, but it's set to draft status. So you'll want to activate it. So click on the drop down right there and select Activate Campaign. And congratulations, you now have a welcome email autoresponder that will be triggered as soon as someone signs up for your email list. Nice work. All right, the next step is to create an opt-in form so that you can start to collect email addresses. Okay, so now that you've created your list and autoresponder welcome email, it's time to build your opt-in form. Your opt-in form will give your blog's visitors a way to submit their email addresses and join your list. AWeber makes it super simple to set up, and the great part about it is that it's all inclusive. Everything is handled through the AWeber platform, which makes the process even easier. So to build your form, click on the Sign Up Forms in the navigation menu. And this will bring you to the Sign Up Forms management page. And since we're going to be creating our own form and adding it to our blog, click the Create a Sign Up Form button to get started. Next, it's time to design the form. And if you look in the upper right-hand side of the screen, you can see that AWeber has broken the opt-in form creating process into 3 stages: design, settings, and publish. It's super simple and efficient. So our first step is to design. And as you can see, you're presented with a template gallery. And these are all pre-made forms that you can choose, edit, and add to your blog. Now, if you want more options, click the Show More tab to bring up the different form template categories. And you'll be presented with some more template options. Now, there are too many to go through in this tutorial, which is a good thing, but AWeber has created an opt-in form for every niche, and I recommend browsing through them whenever you have some extra time. All right, so whenever you find a template that you like, go ahead and click on it, and then choose your color scheme. This particular form only has one color scheme, but we can change the colors within the editor in a few minutes. And then click the Load Template button. And now you can begin to design the form. Now, this design process is somewhat similar to the email template we used a little while ago in the sense that each section of the form is broken down into rows that we can edit. And once again, if you hover your mouse over the form, you can see the different sections that you have the ability to edit. So the header, the form fields, the button, and then there's some text at the bottom, some links, and the footer. Now, another thing I want to point out before we get started is that you can change the form type in this dropdown. By default, it starts out as inline, and this means that your form will be HTML, and inline code is anything that is built into the web page instead of being loaded from an external file. But if you wanted to, you could have the option to change the form to popover, lightbox, or pop-up. All right, next, let's design our opt-in form. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a header. So find the header row within the form by hovering your mouse over it, and then click on it to open the settings, and a text box will open up, and this is where you can type out an attention-grabbing headline for your form. Now, a good headline will help your blog's visitors understand why they should sign up and what kind of information they can expect to receive. And you can play around with the text here. It's very similar to a Word doc or an email editor. You can change the alignment, the size, and add bold font, etc. Super simple to use. As you can see, we're changing the font, the size, bold font. Looks good. Now, I'm actually not going to have a header because I'm going to use the header within my blog sidebar instead of using the form builder. And I'll show you what I mean in a few seconds, but it's totally up to you, whatever you want to do. But again, I'm going to X out of this and remove it. Now, another cool feature is that you have a lot of flexibility with how the elements of the form are displayed within the element section. By clicking on the certain element icons here, you can actually remove them from the form. So for this example, I'm going to remove the header. And whenever I click on the header element icon, you'll see it disappear from the form. Next, I'm going to remove the Powered by AWeber font and the footer. So I'm going to click on those two icons there, and again, you'll see them remove from the form as I click on them. Perfect. Then you can also edit the text and the color of the button. Simply click on the Submit button And this will open up the settings and another text field will pop up. And this is where you can change the call to action. So I'm actually going to change it to subscribe. I'll put it in all caps. There we go. Then if you want to change the color of the button, click on the color icon towards the top of the screen and select the color you want. You'll see the color changer tool there. That's not a technical term, but you can go ahead and configure the color there. You kind of play around and see what works best for you. Then click the OK button. And then you can even add a little shine and gradient to the button by clicking on this icon. And you'll see the button has a little flare to it. Looks cool. I like that. All right, once you have the design the way you like it, click the Save Field button. And then let's take a look at our form. So before moving on, I recommend previewing it just to make sure you're okay with the design. So click the preview button towards the upper right hand side of the screen. And a preview form will pop up. I'm just going to drag it down here, side by side, take a look at it, and it looks good. This is how the form will look in our sidebar. It's super clean and simple. All right, moving on to the next step. So click the Go to Step 2 button. And this is the setting step, and it's where you'll edit the form's properties and set the thank you page. So the first thing is the form name. Your subscribers won't see this name. It just helps you distinguish which form is which. So I'll just give this a quick name. Next, choose where your subscribers will go after they fill out your form. Now, AWeber offers several default thank you pages and even a smart version that shows a video on how to confirm, which is pretty cool. But by default, it's set to the basic version of the thank you page, and you can click the preview button to see what that looks like. Now, this isn't bad, but this is what your subscribers will see after they submit their info to your form. Now, this is a huge opportunity to start building a strong relationship with your audience and guide them through the email journey. And that's why I recommend building a thank you page on your blog and then using that instead of the basic version AWeber starts you out with. For example, this is the thank you page that my subscribers see after they fill out one of my forms on blogwithben.com. Now, not only does this look a little better, but it has the Blog with Ben brand as well as some additional information to help the subscriber through the email journey. And I'm telling them to whitelist my email so that it doesn't go to their junk folder. I'm reminding them that they still need to click the confirmation link and the confirmation email that they're about to receive from AWeber. And finally, I point them towards my blogging resources to help them start off on the right foot. Again, you'll have to build this page out on your blog, but I highly recommend using a customized and unique thank you page like this instead of what's provided by AWeber. So back at the settings page, I'm going to select custom page from the drop down. And then I'd enter the URL of the custom thank you page here. You also have the option to have the thank you page open in a new window, so just check that box if you want that to happen. Now for this tutorial, I'm not building a new thank you page, so I'm going to set it back to the basic version. But again, you'd select custom and then enter the URL of the custom thank you page to redirect it there. All right, finally, there's a few additional options to set the already subscribed page, and this is for people who try to sign up to your list who have already subscribed. Again, for this tutorial, I'm not going to change the page. Then there are some additional advanced settings, but I'm not going to change those either. But again, take a look at them when you have some extra time. All right, so once everything has been filled out and configured, click the Go to Step 3 button. And then at the last step, you'll be prompted to save your form before moving on. So click the Save Your Form button. And then next, you'll be asked, who will publish this form to your site? Since we're going to be doing it, click the I will install my form. It's the first option there. And then by default, it should be on the JavaScript tab, but make sure that that JavaScript snippet tab is selected. Then highlight the code in that little text box below and copy it. I'm on a Mac, so I'm using Command-C on my keyboard. Next, it's time to add the code to the blog. So I'm going to head over to my blog, and depending on what type of blog you're using, this may look different, but I'm using a WordPress blog with the Kale theme. And all I'm doing is I'm adding a custom HTML widget to the sidebar, and then within that widget, I'm going to paste the code I just copied. And we'll paste it right there. Give it a few seconds to load, and boom! There it is. We have our beautiful and clean looking opt-in form ready to collect email addresses. Now, one thing I want to point out is the title. Remember when I built the form, I removed the header, and that's because I'm using the title in the widget instead of the form builder. This way the font on the titles throughout the sidebar will be the same. Just looks a lot more professional in my opinion. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and publish these changes to make them live. So I'm going to click the publish button up there. Close this out. And voila. You now have a sleek, clean, and highly effective way to build and grow your email list. All right, but we're still not done. We're almost there, but we're not done. There's one more thing that I highly suggest doing before you start directing traffic to your form. So back at AWeber, the very last thing I recommend doing is editing the confirmation success page that your subscribers will see after they click the confirmation link within the confirmation email. If I'm confusing you, let me give you a quick refresher of how the email journey works. So the first step in our email journey is the lead magnet. What are you going to offer your audience in exchange for their information? This could be a newsletter, an ebook, a cheat sheet, access to gated content, etc. But this is what attracts your visitors to sign up for your list in the first place. Now, we didn't cover how to create your lead magnet in this video, but I do have another video on how to create an ebook with Google Slides. You can access it in the show notes by clicking the link under How to Create an Ebook. Now, once you've attracted and enticed someone to sign up for your email list, they'll need a way to submit their information. That's where the opt-in form comes into play. Then once they fill it out, two things will happen. They'll be redirected to the thank you page, and they'll also receive the confirmation email where they'll need to click the confirmation link, letting AWeber know that they want to be added to your list. After they open the confirmation email and click the confirmation link, two more things will happen. They'll be redirected again to the confirmation success page, and they'll be officially added to your email list. Then, after all of that, after they submitted their info and confirmed that they want to be on the list, they'll receive a welcome email. And finally, after the welcome email, and depending on how you decide to market to your audience, you'll send out email broadcasts and campaigns, such as weekly newsletters, email blasts, promotional campaigns, and so on. And that's the gist of it, and it's how I structure the Blog with Ben email journey. So with that being said, the last thing we need to do is configure our confirmation success page so that whenever the audience clicks the confirmation link, they'll be taken to a professional looking page and not a plain basic success page. And let me show you what I mean. Okay, so back at AWeber, to reconfigure your confirmation success page, hover your mouse over List option in the navigation menu and click on List Settings. Then click on the confirmation message link on the left-hand side of the screen. And this will bring you to the confirmation message settings page, and this is basically the same as whenever we set up our list, but one difference is that we can configure the confirmation success page here. If you scroll down below the confirmation message, you'll see the settings, and the part we're concerned with is the success page section. It's currently set to the default page, which looks like this. Again, not bad, but pretty basic. We'll want to use something more like this. Again, this is more on brand. It keeps my audience informed, it drives traffic to important places on my blog, and it starts the email relationship off on the right foot. And I've included links to my lead magnet on this page as well as access to some other freebies to help out new bloggers. So just like your thank you page, I recommend you create a unique confirmation success page. You'll have to do this in WordPress, but once it's created, simply add the URL here and then click the Save Settings button. And that will be where your audience is directed after they click the confirmation link in the confirmation email. All right, you have successfully set up your first email list in Email Journey. Nice work. Get ready to grow and build that list. Now, after everything is in place, I recommend submitting a test lead through your opt-in form to make sure your email journey is set up properly. So just go to your blog, website, landing page, wherever you added the form, and test it out. That way you can audit the process and make sure everything is working before you start driving traffic to your opt-in form. All right, the final thing I'm going to show you how to do is to send out your weekly newsletter. Now, AWeber calls these broadcasts, and broadcasts are messages that you can send to all of your subscribers or a group of subscribers at once. They operate independently of any autoresponder or follow-up messages that you may already be sending, and broadcasts do not affect your autoresponder or follow-up messages. Now, for this tutorial, I created a list that was for an SEO newsletter, but broadcasts can also be used for sales offers. Remember when I said that email marketing opened the door to passive income? This is how. Once you build your list, you send out broadcast emails promoting your affiliate offers or your own products. People who have joined your email list will be more inclined to make a purchase. Additionally, broadcasts can also be used for seasonal messages like holidays, Black Friday, and Cyber Monday, as well as other date and time specific mailings. But again, this video focuses on an SEO newsletter, so let me show you how to send a newsletter broadcast. So back at the AWeber home screen, hover your mouse over Messages and click on Broadcasts. Then we're going to be using the drag and drop builder again, so select that option here. And this should look somewhat familiar because it's the exact same process as creating the campaign emails. So for our newsletter, I'm going to use the newsletter and email template, so select the template button. And then remember to uncheck the Keep My Message Content box. And then select the newsletter template. Then I'm going to recheck the Keep My Messages box so that it will keep the newsletter layout for my next email since we're going to be using this again. But remember to always uncheck this box if you're going to use different templates. Finally, click the Apply button and start editing. Now, I'm not going to walk you through the entire process of creating an SEO newsletter, but you would go through the same steps as before to create, edit, and preview your newsletter before sending. After it's ready to go, you'll click the Save and Exit button. And, whoops, real quick, I forgot, you'll need to give it a subject line first. I'm just naming this test for now, but again, you'll want to give your email and attention-grabbing subject line. Then click the Save and Exit button. Perfect. Then your broadcast will automatically be saved as a draft until you schedule it. So to schedule it, click the Send Options drop-down and click on Schedule Broadcast. Then you'll be presented with the multiple options for sending your newsletter. Just make sure you have the correct list selected for the newsletter. And then you also have the ability to send it immediately or schedule the newsletter for a future date here. Then once it's ready, click the green Send message and your newsletter will be sent to your list. Congratulations, you now know how to create an email list with AWeber, and you've successfully set up an email journey that's designed to grow your following. The steps outlined in this tutorial will allow you to implement a professional email marketing strategy, grow your audience, and open the door to future passive income opportunities. So that's going to do it for this video. If you found it helpful, I'd greatly appreciate it if you would like, share, and subscribe to the Blog with Ben YouTube channel. As always, your support means a great deal to me and my family, and for that, I thank you. So with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.